What's cracking, guys? And as you guessed, it's a little bit of an update on the situation, and probably the final video that I can probably do on this subject. So let's at least roll the intro here. Anyway, sadly to say, pretty much Vic Mignogna's career is, it's over, man. It's never gonna be the same. Funimation has just announced that it's cutting ties with this tweet here. Everyone, we wanted to give you an update on the Vic Mignogna situation. Following an investigation, Funimation recast Vic Mignogna in Morose Mononoke Season 2. Funimation will not be engaging Mignogna in future productions. Part of our core mission is to celebrate the diversity of the anime community and to share our love for the genre and its positive impact on all. We do not any kind of harassment or threatening behavior because directed at anyone, and they fucked up there. So they added this: we do not condone any kind of harassment or threatening behavior being directed at anyone. So yeah, that's pretty harsh for Vic here. However, there are some key terms in here that I do want to go over. And that's the fact that saying following an investigation. I mean, that phrase is in there, so apparently they had something internal happen here. Whether or not they actually have proof or whatever, that's up in the air. But usually, when they say that they don't want to do business with this man anymore, that usually means they found something at least condemning. But anyway, I'd also like to remind you that companies can pretty much at any time fire somebody for any reason at all. And to say the least, I'm not surprised that they came to this decision here. It doesn't surprise me in the least. Look at it critically here, okay? You have a huge number of voice actors saying we hate this guy. We want nothing to do with it, and that he's a bad person, even if there's no solid concrete evidence on the internet or anything to be found. And then over here, you have Vic Mignogna, who's just by himself and, has his career behind him and, lots of fans, but it's still just a single person. Now you, as the company here, going well, in order to save face and not get the heat, I gotta do something here, and the easiest thing for them to do is to please the majority, and that's get rid of Vic. At least it's the safest thing for them to do, because that way they're not in the heat of condoning this kind of bad allegations against Vic. And the same kind of logic applies to Rooster Teeth as well, who let him go earlier. Merely put, I just believe this is a way of them saving face. And truth be told, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Sure, I'd like them to take a morally high ground and say yo, we can't do anything until there's some sort of investigation or something going to the cop and the cops actually saying yeah, this man's guilty. I'd like that. But realistically, with all the pressure against them in this freaking day and age in 2019, where basically you can just have a group of mob mentality people bring their torch and pitchforks against somebody, and then you're kind of forced to act. So yes, Vic is gone from Funimation. That much proven fact, okay? He's gone, he's got no ties, he's not coming back unless something drastic happens. However, this doesn't prove the fact that they actually have evidence at this point here. They just said that they had an investigation. Doesn't say that they found him innocent, doesn't say they found him guilty, just says they had an investigation. Whether or not they actually did have an investigation, I don't know. Again, the reason they could just cut him off is just to save face at this point, which I would understand. There's no police being involved. There's no sort of law enforcement lawsuit, lawyers or anything going down as far as we know yet. In truth and honestly, it could just be a PR move to get people off their backs, which again, I would understand. After all, Funimation really doesn't have too much to do with this. They're just the people that hire. However, there was a statement below the Funimation thing where a fan here said, if Vic was fired, then Monica should be as well, since both are the cause of problems. Harassing fans, both sides should be recasted. This way it's fair until investigation is done. Seriously. And then below, the person kind of spearheading everything against Vic here, saying like, there were multiple investigations with testimony, proof, evidence. Companies don't cut ties without those things. Well, that's just completely false there. They can cut ties for any reason. However, that information is classified. I'm one of the dozens of men and women who participated. Stop harassing me. Now, that's not really harassment there. That's just him stating something, at least an opinion. Not really harassment. And I'll get more on the harassing thing a little bit later here, considering Monica Real's terrible PR skills. But that's not really what I need to discuss right now. But what she did state is the fact that there were multiple testimonies, proof, evidence, and things behind this. And that means that, hey, she found something, and she apparently has reported it to the police, lawyers, etc. Now, again, we'll have to wait and see until, like, there's actual court stuff going on here, because that's really where the only direction this can go at this point. Because truthfully, the only way that fans will be able to settle down at this point is if, like, there is a court hearing and they do prove either side innocent or guilty. Like, that's really the only way. However, they are right about the fact that, yes, they don't actually have to show this evidence to the public. They don't. They're not legally obligated to do it. However, they will actually become legally obligated to provide evidence if Vic Mignogna takes this to court for, like, slander reasons and him losing his job, which obviously at this point I would be doing if I was Vic. At least it would be easy for Vic to disprove all the allegations against him on the internet currently, because all of them are complete hogwash. That part has already been pretty much taken care of for him. The only thing that he needs to worry about is the stuff that's behind the scenes that we don't know about, apparently. However, now I would like to talk about Monica Real's PR skills, which are, you know, quite notoriously horrible. Like, absolutely horrific. She's just so terrible. That's one thing, like 100% I can conclude about this. Because right below this statement of her saying this stuff here, a man here says, if you knew he was like this, you covered it up, you're just as bad. Which, you know, it's kind of like, she's an accomplice to his crimes by covering it up. That's kind of like a legal thing, yeah. And then she says below, thanks for the tweet. I've screenshotted it and sent it to my attorney and law enforcement. I will not be harassed. Have a nice night. Now, she's been copying and pasting this to a lot of people. And that was quite clearly not harassment. That was just fact. Criticism does not mean harassment. You know, that's how it is. That's a very valid and legal point that man is bringing up. And just kind of sway it off and call it harassment and threaten him with, like, attorneys and law enforcement. Like, that's over the top. I mean, you can literally just go on her Twitter and you can catch her copy-paste message to a bunch of different people. And you can debate whether or not it truly is harassment or not. But, like, in my opinion, I think she's getting a little bit too touchy with this right now, and she's kind of going off the chart. But seriously, guys, you can't direct all the blame and all this stuff on Monica here, because she's not the only one involved. She's just one of the many people putting all these accusations and stuff against Vic. She's just like one of the people at the top that are doing it. Even if she's awful at handling PR, even if she has terrible people skills, even if she's somewhat of a bitch, like, you know, that's just who she is as a person. But yes, of course I realize the complete irony behind this situation, considering she was one of the people who spearfronted this whole Kick Vic thing by coming out, putting up these accusations online before even going to the police, mind you, just doing this whole big spiel, putting it all over the internet, making a huge deal, and actually harassing Vic and fans and other things like that. But at the end of the day, when people are actually going, wait a minute, and questioning her, saying like, why should we hate this guy? She cuts off, says, don't harass me. I didn't do nothing wrong. Like, I get it. It's just, it's unreal. Even threatening people with lawyers and law enforcement on top of it. But still, you have to realize, even after people have done horrible things like falsifying evidence, doing all these crusades on Twitter, all sorts of gnarly things, like, you don't want to go to their level. I don't condone people attacking people or any sort of this stuff, so please don't go attacking any of the so-called victims of this here. I'll put it in quotations because I have no idea if it's true or not, but still, it's not about attacking people, it's about trying to present the facts and evidence of this and the reality of the situation. Honestly, there really is nothing else we as fans can do, either on Monica's or Vic's side. Like, it's just, you gotta take it to the courts and see what happens there. If there really is evidence, it will be shown there, of all places, because it has to be. Otherwise, the court will be thrown, the case will be thrown out, and Vic will be owed a lot of money, especially from all these voice actors who have slandered him. Or the opposite, where Vic will just be going to jail, and, you know, everything will just go on as usual. There really is nothing more I can say about this. So guys, please understand, like, this is escalated to the point where, like, we can't really touch it anymore. Like, this is where the courts and the judicial system need to come into play. So anyway, thank you guys so much for supporting me throughout this here. This has, like, been a long and very charged Noble News kind of segment here. So again, thank you guys so much. And leave a like, support more Otaku News, support more Noble memes and other stuff. And I hope to see all you beautiful sons of guns again next time.
You crazy mother...